What is up, everybody? I'm here today with my best friend and my secret lover. What are you laughing at? But today I want to talk about something that needs more awareness, and that has to be cyberbullying. As somebody who endured bullying through middle school, high school, I actually started working out about 16, 17 because I didn't want to have to go through that again. And it worked out a lot. When people see somebody that they're fearful of, they tend not to bully them. Usually. This doesn't mean it's guaranteed. So the other day, I decided to add a picture on Twitter, not to my fan base, but to Twitter itself, based on someone else looking good at a specific age. So I decided to post my own body looking good at a specific age. And instead of people saying, "You look great, good for you," or not even writing something at all, they went out of their way to try to ridicule and mock me, whether it's about being a long neck or accusing me of taking steroids or calling me gay. And luckily for me, I'm very mentally stable. The only thing that is my weakness is my daughter, and obviously there's a right for that. But other than that, things that people say don't really affect me. And the most interesting is that people feel they know somebody when they really don't know them at all. And making accusations of somebody using drugs when I've never even contemplated using drugs in my entire life just shows the knowledge of these individuals, making that assumption. When, how about you just say, maybe that person just worked out hard. Maybe that person, strived for greatness at the time. And when I did have my prime body, I was working out 4 hours a day, doing 40 workouts per day. I didn't really have a life. I just focused on the gym and my body. And obviously that became an addiction, which obviously there's worse addictions than going to the gym every day for 4 hours, but it is an addiction. But back to the basics of the video has to be talking about, online bullying, cyberbullying, and social media in general has just become such a toxic platform. And it's something that I'm going to make sure, as my daughter grows up, to be very, very aware of, to be very careful of, and to live her life. See how that light changes, watch. It just changed green, watch. And just to not indulge and entertain people on social media or feel the need to be like other people on social media. That's a huge, huge problem, because like I said, if a little girl is on social media and she posts a picture of herself and men start saying, "Oh, you're disgusting," or "You're a WHORE," and stuff like that, a little girl can get discouraged and end up, self-harming herself or even worse. So I think it's a job as a parent to protect our child or children from social media, because it sounds fun. Oh yeah, I can post myself out there and people are gonna, love me and give me that self-gratification that I'm searching for and validation that I need. When realistically, it shouldn't come from social media. It should come from within. It should come from your family. It should come from your best friends. It should come from you, not other people, not random people. Why do we seek validation from people that we don't know, that we don't even like, that we don't even care exist? You want to feel the need of being wanted. How about you realize that your parents want you, or your family wants you, or even you want you? So if you're a person who's a victim of online bullying or cyberbullying, realize this, that the person doing that under the false pretense or name, whatever they're under, don't let it affect you. And there's people who get insulted or are ridiculed because they put themselves out in a specific way, in a specific light. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they should accept what's being said about them, but sometimes people bring things onto themselves. And I'm not saying it's right, but if you put yourself out there doing something that's worthy of commentating, again, it's not right for people to commentate on it, but they do because it looks like you're looking for comments. And even though the picture I posted was ideally to get people to follow me, it wasn't a picture that was warranted mockery. It wasn't like, because in the picture that I took, my neck was like this, right? And they're determining, because I didn't cut the photo, I should have cropped the photo before I posted it, but people are, sending gifs of giraffes and saying this and saying that, and it's just like, you're literally on a computer trying to make fun of a grown man for quote unquote having a longer neck, which means you're taller, which people make fun of men for being short. There's no real win on the internet. And it's unfortunate, because this is the society and life that we live in, where we're so uncomfortable and unhappy with ourselves that we have to sit there and make a mockery and make fun of other people and bring them down. And what was really funny is some guy said to me, I don't know exactly what he said, but he was making fun of me. And I responded with him like a non-responsive way. He's like, oh, I'm glad you didn't respond in a different way. I was just trolling with you. The fact that people find this funny is funny within itself. You think it's funny to try to piss off people that you don't know. That screams boredom. It screams loneliness. It screams unhappiness. And you just don't like yourself. Why don't we focus more time working on ourselves and being better versions of ourselves than sit there making fun of other people for their problems or their issues or stuff that you don't like about somebody, that it doesn't matter if you don't like that about them or not. Sitting there making fun of someone behind a keyboard, not even using an image of yourself or even your real name, making fun of people, is extremely low. And truthfully, should be against the law. But on X or Twitter, you're allowed to say and do whatever you want, as long as you're not like, I mean, you can even, I don't know what's not allowed on Twitter anymore. Like, to be honest with you, the things I see on Twitter sometimes are just so damaging. I see people getting shot and dead alive. I've seen anything you can think of on Twitter, and it's just really scary, to be honest, especially as a parent. So one of the things I'm working on personally is a list of how to get through life, almost like Ned's Declassified, how to get through life accordingly. And it's not just something I'm going to hand my daughter, it's something that I'm going to constantly repeat and remind her of how to get through life, because teenagers, sometimes even younger, the parents are just like, figure it out on your own, good luck. And that's not the type of parent that I am. I'm the parent that's going to guide my daughter in whatever way I can to help her succeed in life. Now, I'm not going to sit there and control every aspect of her life, because that can backfire, and then she can want to do the opposite. And that's a big reason why I don't focus on forcing kids to do religious things, because usually they become the opposite. So that being said, like, here's another example of something can go really bad. Let's just say a person makes a Twitter account, right? They use a photo of somebody else. They use the name of that person, and that person's not even on social media. Then they start writing incriminating things, and then they say, I live at this address, come fight me, come do this. So now they're using somebody else's photo, they're using somebody else's name, they're using somebody else's address, and if they say the wrong things or do the wrong things, then they could be targeted. And guess who's targeted? Not the person not the person actually behind the keyboard. Now you might say, well, yes, if somebody dies because of this, they're going to investigate it and find the person that did it. Yes, but guess what? That's way too late. That is way too late. The internet is a very scary place. It's also a very rewarding place, and you can be knowledgeable about so much, but there's also so much fake stuff out there that people just believe in and act off of, because they can't even take 30 minutes to do their own research and acknowledge what's the truth and what's not the truth. But also, the fact of social media is just so dangerous. What kids do, what teenagers do in order to get this gratification of validation of following, or who am I popular, am I cool, am I this, am I that. So my book or my story to my daughter is, don't ever try and be a follower. Be a leader. Lead by example. Make this world a better place in whatever way or fashion that you can do it. Don't sit there and think something's going to fall from the sky, or don't use other people to get to where you need to get to. It's not right. So I will continue to try and be the best father that I can be. I learn from my mistakes, but at least I can, talk to my daughter about my mistakes and help her not make those same mistakes. Now, you can't avoid anything, and obviously my daughter is going to make mistakes in life, but that doesn't mean I have to sit there and let her go through it and then help her figure it out. If somebody tells you that there's a train coming in a mile, you shouldn't drive your car there, and somebody previously died there, you shouldn't drive your car there. You really shouldn't, because somebody's telling you that there's a train coming up there with no at a specific time that's gonna pretty much end your life. If you can tell people not to do something and they're smart enough to listen to you and trust you, that's great. I wish I had, and I made a video about this, is the things that I would change about me since I was 18 years old, and there was a lot of things that I would have done differently. And never mind, somebody in front of him. But yeah, there's so many things that I would have changed. So if I can help my daughter take footsteps in the right direction, to not fail. Like I said, we all make mistakes and we have to learn from them, but we don't have to sit there and fail in order to fix our mistakes. So just be careful out there. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it so much. And try to stay off social media as much as possible. Unfortunately, I'm involved in it because of my work, but I still shouldn't entertain these types of people. I really shouldn't, because it's very toxic. It's very scary. It's very dangerous. And, I have a daughter to protect. I can't sit there and have controversial conversations about things that I believe in with people that aren't rational, with people with lower IQs, with people who first thing is to fight and to act up. And that's really scary, because like I said, I was just talking to my friends in the gym. One of them's pro guns, the other one's not pro guns. And I explained to them, I said, look, if somebody entered your house and had your child or threatened your child, would you shoot them? And they both said yes. And I said, okay, so what if you were out in public and somebody took your child and you had a gun, would you shoot them? They both said yes. I said, well, that's perfectly okay, because you are two normal, sane parents, but not everybody's like you. I have videos on Twitter of people getting in arguments because of a car, whatever, they got cut out or whatever, pulling out guns on each other and shooting each other multiple times. This is called trigger happy. This is called ego shooting. There's so many different names for it, but it's just very, very dangerous, and the world's very scary, and the accessibility to weapons is so accessible. And I'm a person where I'm like, yes, I believe you should be able to have a weapon in your home that's safely protected from your children, to be able to access it to protect your family. That's right. But wielding a weapon in your car, it's just like, hey, one thing goes wrong, I'm gonna pull out my weapon because it's so easy and it's there, right? And I quote unquote have to protect myself. We live in a world of fear, and we're all fearful, but that doesn't mean we should just shoot anything we see that we're fearful of, or think that somebody else is doing something. Somebody could put their hands in their pockets and think they're going for a gun. So I'm going too off topic with this. I mean, it's a conversation for another time, but I appreciate it so much. I think that guy got ducks. See patos? It's a conversation for another time, but again, with social media, guys, just be careful out there. Just be careful.